I'm back with another Damnations video, this time looking at the Empire. I'm going to look at how they perform in battles and give you a general sense of how they play. I'll look at campaign another time, but for now, just how they fight. So they're a very versatile faction. You've got massive variety across the roster. Most of them are armoured in cuirass, and because of this, they don't have the normal round of arm and leg armor, so their melee armor isn't amazing, but most of the cuirasses are made to be bulletproofed. So you'll find that the majority of your troops have a missile resist bonus. So work from the front and the back, and will negate around a third of incoming missile fire. So even your unshielded troops won't get massacred to archers and guns in even the way other nations would. So you have a little bit of sturdiness to them, and they can adapt well to all situations. Now, it wouldn't be a Warhammer Empire video if I didn't break it down into faith, steel, and gunpowder, so I'll be doing that. I'll start with faith. The troops obviously have religious support, which will buff up their morale, but they already start with a very high morale. They're much slower than the enemies, and they know that if they run away, they are going to die. When the beastmen come running towards you at twice your speed, it's not a good idea to turn around because you are going to get caught. Their morale is comparable almost with the dwarves, and they stand in formation with valour, but they're not that strong individually, and so they need this camaraderie and formation to overcome the fact that a man is really just a puny weakling in the Warhammer world. Then you have the steel. You've got the heavy cavalry, the Reichsguard, the Empire Knights, even the Outriders are pretty well armoured, who can again make up for the shortcomings of man by cladding themselves in the best kit you can get. It lets them deal with much stronger people because they're better armed. You've also, unlike vanilla, got knightly infantry. So you have your Reichsguard foot, you have your Ulrican Templars if you're Middenheim. You have your Imperial foot across the board, so you've got heavily armoured troops that can really act as a linchpin for the army. You've generally got alright infantry across the board. You're going to have shielded spearmen will hold the line for ages. Swordsmen are a good versatile troop, and do not underestimate your basic spearmen. Halberdiers too will rip through armour. For gunpowder. So gunpowder in the Damnations across the board, with the small exception of shotguns, rips through shields. Shields have no effect on a gun. Armour has very little effect on a gun. This means that the Empire can lean on gunpowder heavily, because although their infantry might struggle with the heavily armoured Chaos Knights bearing down on them, the guns don't care how strong you are. They are no respecter of rank. The lowliest peasant is the same as the highest emperor as far as a gun is concerned. It will just kill them both. It is great for evening the odds, and mixing in the three together in conjunction is really how the Empire works. So your infantry can hold back the enemy and indeed push towards them, but really it needs support from either cavalry. What you're going to lean on to even the playing field against people like Chaos, like the Dwarfs, anyone who is heavy, you can really abandon using a lot of your melee to do it and just shoot them instead. But all as part of a single machine with different parts moving. So that, while a slightly generic breakdown of the Empire, it does give an idea of how they function. You can use your pistoliers as scout troops. It is a very traditional human way of playing, and it's why I've started with this breakdown, because they are a very good baseline for how to play the game generally. If you use standard military tactics, if you delay with a small force, it will work. If you can think of a real-world application for the army, there's a good chance the Empire can make it work. And they have very applicable skills to other factions too. So if you are looking for a faction to start with, they are one of the ones I would recommend. I'll keep it brief so that it's easily digestible, but I'll go into more detail in the future, and I'll see you later.